Did I ever tell you about the story that really brought me into a journey of a hope-filled perspective? When I was about 26, I went to Eureka Springs, Arkansas, and I brought two other men with me and great friends, and I was experiencing a lot of misery at that time in my life, but I was around a lot of people that was the norm, and so I thought it was normal. So I decided one night, about 2, 3 in the morning, to leave that hotel room while my friends were sleeping and go up to a hill and ask God questions that I'd never asked him, and they were hope-filled questions. So I started to just be honest with him, and I was a bit afraid of what the answers could be or couldn't be in that place of unique vulnerability. But then I asked him, how much do you love me? How much do you want to enjoy me in this life? How much do you want to build with me and find pleasure in our journey together? He flooded my soul on that hill with the answer, shouts of how much he loved me and desired me. And I heard him shout at me, don't miss it. Don't miss life. Don't miss the hope. Don't miss the pleasures and the dreams I have for you. And about that time that light was breaking forth in my soul and my mind, I knew that I knew him in a different way. I knew that this was real. It wasn't a fairy tale. The sun came up, and I didn't realize I had parked on this hill. And this hill overlooked all these rolling hills, and the sun hit the dew and hit the leaves on the trees, and I was just stunned by the beauty. And I said, this is the best view in town. I shouted at it. And I paused for a moment, and I felt this feeling and heard these thoughts. No, this isn't the best view of town. And it was very gentle, and I said, not the best view in town. And I said, no, the best view in town is down the hill. And I didn't know if it was my thoughts. I didn't know that God could talk to people. I didn't hear a voice out loud, but I had this beautiful impression that this sentence was really from God. I drove down the hill, and I just felt to stop in front of this little house in the woods that was right by a little creek, had a little water wheel in front of it, a stone house, very pleasant. And then I feel like I hear a shout in my spirit, this is the best view in town. And I say, well, why, Lord? And he said, because the people inside make it so. And I run back to these guys, drive back and run back to these guys in the room, and I wake them up and I say, inside, inside, inside. And I just go on and explode with my discovery. And everything's changing and evolving in my spirit, and I'm on this wondrous journey. We start to leave that hotel. And as we're walking out, we walk by this swimming pool. It's off to the side, and there's this couple, elderly couple, and they're outside. It's an outside pool. And there's rolling hills behind them, and they're playing their guitar, and they're singing sweet love songs to Jesus. So I said, let's find out their story real quick. So we go and we sit with them. And as we sit with them, we ask them about who they are. And we find out they were bootleggers, and they had given their lives to Jesus. And now they went from nursing home to nursing home, singing songs of hope to the hopeless and singing of a new perspective. And we ask them about hoping in God. And I talk about a few painful experiences in my life that I had known even as one who had followed God, and whether God had been there. And they're 20, 30 years older than us, and they'd say, oh, and they just tell me, not Pollyanna view, but a substantial view of how God had been good in that situation. They had cultivated, developed it deep, all these areas of hope, hoping in God, hoping in people, hoping in the next generation, hoping in prayer. They said, we always have a prayer. We can always go to our friend and ask, and then hoping in their city. So we start to leave. And as we leave, we get almost out to the car. And the light bulb comes on. I said, come back there with me. So we walk up to this couple. I said, where do you live? And they said, well, you go up to the next street, and it's this wooded area where this hotel was, and you turn left. And I said, let me tell you. I said, you go around this winding curve. They said, yes. I said, you go through this patch of oak trees. They said, yes. I said, you get down to the bottom and there's a little creek. And they said, yes. I said, there's a little stone house there with the water wheel. They said, yes. I said, that's your house. They said, yes. I said, do you have the best view in town? And they said, oh, you know we have the best view in town. And I realized that they had the best view in town because the best view in town is from inside out. Because they had allowed it to be made so from our hopeful, joyful, happy God. So the lesson for us is that you have permission to live in hope. You have permission to have the best view